Welcome to another video with us, dsf.my. I'm glad you're still watching our videos. Today, we have this quite amazing product to show you. Why I say quite amazing? This is a large sedan. As you can see, the width of this car is quite long. And it's also quite wide. I'll show you the width later. So, talking about length and width, large sedan. Now, there's a lot of people who prefer crossovers and SUVs, but there's still enough people that want a sedan. And they want a spacious sedan. They want to be able to take their family out in comfort. Now, this seat has been reclined. I'm gonna, put it back up. So if you take a closer look, you'll see how well groomed, well executed this cabin is. Nice bolstered, proper headrest, center console, nice place for women to put their handbags or men to put their man bags, large screen, and all the functions that you need. Now, we'll go into all that, but more importantly is what this sedan represents. You've got rear aircon, you've got a flat floor, you've got enough space for 3 adults in the back, you've got ISOFIX seats. You've got everything. You've got everything that people in this segment want. Now, it's very hard for me to explain how great the value is for the sedan. But all I need to tell you is one thing only, and that is BYD has got an objective to become bigger than the biggest Japanese brand in the world. I'm not going to mention the brand, but you know, the biggest Japanese brand in the world. BYD wants to take over the #1 position from the brand. To take over that position, you have to deliver products like this with interesting price point. So to start with, you have a electric powertrain in front, rear wheel drive. You don't need dual motors, single motor. You need a driving distance of 400 odd kilometers, which it delivers. You need a car that's spacious. You need to have airbags. You need to have safety systems. Panoramic sunroof, whether you like it or not, with a sliding cover. With a sliding cover, look at that. It's got a full sliding cover. These are all added features that you have to pay for. And BYD gives you all this. And I'm coming to the best part. Wait, don't worry, I'm coming to the best part. The best part is this. Just before the best part, look at the size of this boot. Look at how big it is. Look at how deep it is. And I know some of you are going to say, hey, no power boot. Come on. You can't reach. I'm not tall. You can't reach and just pull this down. Huh? Is it so difficult? Why do you need a power boot? They're giving you a value for money electric vehicle with that proven powertrain, proven blade battery system. You know about BYD's blade battery system, one of the best battery systems in the world. Spacious interior, all that. And again, what's the best part? Look at it, nice wheels even. What's the best part? The best part is its selling price. The selling price is 100,000 ringgit. Can you imagine all this for 100,000 ringgit? 100,000 ringgit. Electric seats, both. 100,000 ringgit. Does it make sense? It really doesn't make sense, does it? 100,000 ringgit. Now, Malaysians can say, okay, I'll take a petrol alternative. So the petrol alternative can come from Toyota, from Honda, from Mazda, from so many brands, from Hyundai. But 100,000 ringgit for a car with all this, BYD and Sai Motors has just rocked the market. When they launched this car at 100,000 ringgit, we were all like, no way, this should be about 120, 130. But 100,000 ringgit. And they got away with it. How? Plus, they give you a 3,000 ringgit rebate when they launch. So it's 97,000. And then a month earlier, they launched the BYD Atto 2, okay, the small crossover, for 86,000 ringgit. So can you imagine, they've got a crossover for 86,000 ringgit, and then now they have this sedan for 97,000. So let's talk about some of the facts in this BYD. Cameraman, come closer because I'm going to mention all the little features that you get inside this car. So if you look inside, you got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, you got a big screen. And remember, BYD has a rotating screen, which means you can rotate it, and people just love the fact that it can rotate. So let me give you some bare facts about this car, which, enthusiasts will want to know about. Dual ball joint McPherson strut plus multi-link suspension in the rear. That is a big point when it comes to handling. Rear wheel drive, which is unique in the segment and to give that little sporty feel. Largest C-segment sedan in Malaysia right now, this car. Then you got a turning radius of just 5.5 meters. That's a very tight turning radius. 24 smart storage compartments. And just now I showed you cargo capacity, 525 liters. Yes, the boot space gives you 525 liters. Now, power delivery, 160 kilowatts of power, 330 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds with 3 driving modes. Now that's a lot to absorb from a car like this. And like I said, 97,000 ringgit. At the moment, BYD has 37 outlets in Malaysia and growing. So you got 37 places to go to in Malaysia to take a test drive, pick up this car, and actually feel and enjoy what I'm talking about. And please make sure when you take it out for a test drive, make sure you try the audio system. The audio system is very impressive, and it's not even a designer audio system. It's a normal BYD audio system, but they're working with someone to give you a very, very interesting audio system. So remember, this car, take note, and please understand, this car is not the Seal Sport Sedan which sells for 171,000 ringgit. This is the Seal 6 EV. It's two different products. It looks a lot like the Seal Sport Sedan, which is 171,000, but this is the Seal 6 EV Sedan. So there's a difference of 70,000 ringgit. But once you get in, a lot of people say, do I really need to pay the extra 70,000 ringgit? Some will say yes, because I want the additional power. It's not super fast because BYD is not selling that with this car. They are selling the best value for money commuter electric sedan for 97,000 ringgit in Malaysia. So a lot of Malaysians are going to be confused by now. Why confused? Not because of a political situation and not because of all the nonsense that we read on social media. Confused because they don't know what car to buy, what new car to buy. Okay, the whole landscape has been disrupted by a whole bunch of new electric cars coming into market at just amazing selling prices. And this is one of them, the BYD 6 Seal EV. Look at this car, look at this cabin. We've already done a walk around, we've seen the size and the features and everything else. We've explained the whole power delivery, battery technology, driving range and all. But the price, launch at 100,000, 3,000 rebate right after, which means it's 97,000 ringgit. And 97,000 ringgit, what other electric cars do you have out there competing? Well, on the lower end of the scale, you've got the new Proton EMAS 5. When I say new, it's about to be launched. Supposed to be between 60 to 80,000, but 60,000 you're going to get the really basic model. A lot of people are going to say no to it because the driving distance is not very good and the features. But the 80,000 version comes with enough. I think it's enough. Not great, 400 kilometers of driving range. Not too bad. But 80,000 ringgit. So 80,000 ringgit to 97,000 ringgit is not a far gap. But in case for some people it's a far gap, there's another product in between at 86,000 ringgit, which is the BYD Atto 2. And the BYD Atto 2 is bigger than the EMAS 5, has slightly more features, slightly better driving distance. Everything else about the same. You look at the spec sheet, you can tell. And it's 87,000 ringgit. So if the EMAS 5 is 80, the high spec, and the Atto 2 is 87, that's not much in terms of your monthly installment over 7 years. And then we have another shock entry next month because now we're in October 2025. In early November 2025, we have a shock entry coming in from Perdua. Perdua will be launching their first ever electric car, and that's about the size of the Atto 2. It's not very small. It's slightly bigger than the Emas 5, which a lot of people will say, yes, I want a slightly bigger vehicle. And it's supposed to be just under 80,000 ringgit. And it has similar features, driving distance, safety features, tech and everything else. Plus, they've launched a smartwatch to go with it that can do a lot of things with the car. So, can you imagine now the average Malaysian who's thinking about electric car ownership, the confusion? Do I get the sedan for 97? Do I get the Atto 2 from BYD for 86? See, I'm even confused because there's so many. Should I get the Emas at 80,000 ringgit? Or should I get the new Perdua electric car at just below 80,000 ringgit? Probably be about 78. So you have these 4 choices. On top of that, you have other electric car brands that are giving hefty discounts right now on slightly older models. When I say slightly older, they're about a year old or 6 months old, but they're already giving discounts. And the discounts are all below 100,000. You can go to DSF. All the cars that I'm talking about with the discounts are actually there. The articles are there. You just have to Google, just go to the search engine. So the confusion is so high. What I suggest is just go out to individual showrooms, test drive the different new electric cars, and then make a decision before the end of the year. But when you walk in, be firm with what you want, what you're thinking of. Do you want an SUV? Do you want a crossover? Do you want a hatchback? Do you want a sedan? Make it clear exactly what you want in terms of a car that you're going to be living with for 7 years. Thank you for watching DSF. Please share your comments, good or bad. We enjoy bad comments because that helps us to improve our videos, which has a lot of room for improvement. I know that. We're not professionals. We're just car enthusiasts trying to share what we know.